salamander. What are you doing? A tree with that big bend in the background, and lots going on there too. There is a cool structure. Amazing. That's large. Very bumpy. I love how those crisscross right there. That is so cool. How this tree's like. And then that one's just placed there. Another sort of teepee off the side of the road. Kind of. A lot of trees coming together. That is wild. Another very big bent tree visible from the side of the road. Look at that. Wow. The road's right over there. Some other ones, this one is kind of split up and cracked. A little bit. Right, in typical fashion, I'm at the parking area and I see this just off it. Pretty cool. I see this a lot. I don't know what it could mean, but pretty cool. I'm also noticing some really interesting tracks. At least I think they're pretty interesting. Are those mountain lion? Coyote? Canine? What do you think? You can see the claws, it looks like. I think, yeah. See the claws in that one really defined. Off of memory, that kind of reminds me of mountain lion, but I'm not sure. I know coyote and canines are pretty close. There's another one there. For size, there's a water bottle, so they're not massive. All right, so on this one, I'm just kind of filming. Beginning of the trail. Usually I start going right after things that I've seen that are interesting. I mean, there's a tree that's kind of leaning in there. It's definitely a cool looking forest. But otherwise, just filming the beginning. Beautiful, beautiful day. Just perfect. Look at that. The tree kind of hung up in there. Those are cool looking up there. What will we find today? Maybe nothing. That's cool with me. Then I'll just do a hiking video. I'm just happy to be out here hiking. Anything else is a total bonus. But I can't, this early in, I can't say we're going to find nothing, because there's a tree that's leaning with all the bark peeled off. That's through the fork, it looks like, of that tree. And even behind it, it's kind of cool looking. Wow. Well, right in the beginning of this hike is like a creek bed. I can hardly resist having a look at here. I did notice just as I started some pretty cool looking little rocks here. This is kind of like a, I don't know, like a crystal kind of thing. It looks like a crystal. This one's kind of neat too. It's got some kind of marbly something. Pretty cool. And yeah, I just thought I'd take a peek a little bit around this, all this wood here. Even the way that's stacked is kind of interesting, I think. From the other side, there's a look at this big, I don't know what, pile of trees. It's definitely a pile of trees with the bark removed. That is definitely a theme, as I got stabbed by prickers. And yeah, see what we have. There's definitely impressions of some kind here. Looks like a deer center right there. Wow, this is cool, huh? How peaceful is this? You can hear a little water running somewhere over there. That dove sound reminds me, I wonder if I'll hear an owl. It's been a couple days, a couple hiking trips since I've heard an owl in the daylight. But I've heard plenty. Not sure if that's a deer. Huh. Almost looks like 3 fingers. I don't know, or that could be a deer print with maybe 2 deer prints, I don't know. Kind of cool. All right, just checking out a little bit of this creek. How sweet is this? I don't think I can go walk too far along it because of how much water there is. I tried going one way and it looked like a bit tricky to go down it. We can explore a little bit of it though. Just going with the flow and see what we find. Sure is a cool looking area. That is for sure. With some rocks here, I put them all together. They all have pretty definitive triangle shapes. It's pretty cool. That looks, what is that? I don't know. Almost look like a piece of gold or something, but that's probably unlikely to find sitting out like that. There's the water. Archy looking limb or tree, once again with the bark peeled off. If it was an arch, it's an old one. And there's that big tree at an angle right there. Looks pretty cool through there too, if you can see where it's kind of lit up. Walk a little bit along the creek here. Pretty cool. Oh, some running water. Just a trickle. Nice though. It's very peaceful. What's that? Huh. Oh, okay. It's like some slime in the water. Huh. Looks pretty cool up there. Maybe I'll turn around here. I'm sure I could make it work, but if there's a trail, and I'll probably just go follow. See some minnows in there. Yeah, I don't know if you can see those. It's cool. Interesting. Like slide right there. Something slid. I don't see anything else. Apart from like those tiny little prints there. Maybe that's what it was. That looks bigger. Section that I was looking at is very accessible. So, oh wow. More angles. I don't know what else to call those. I mean, I would definitely personally consider that a structure. But trees at angles is what I'm kind of calling them. The ground is a bit soft here, so I'm looking down as I walk. See some impressions here from the distance. Certainly looks like it's been here for a while. I wonder if these get built for a purpose and they still hold that purpose as long as they remain up like this. I mean, that just does not look natural to me. It's kind of neat. If you look center screen, there's like a log that ends in the Y of that. You can see it right there. See it right there. Wow, this is really cool right here. You've got those two going up there like that. And a lot on the ground too. Very cool. A lot of small impressions. Look at this. sure would call this a little squatchy area, as they say. Look at that. It's like, okay, that is one tree. That's sort of forks there. Notice that's in between it and it's busted off. Right there. This one without the bark once again. That one there has no bark. Pretty big impressions in the leaves. Look at all that. So much going on. There's a beautiful, like a partial arch. Kind of center screen. Looks like maybe another one possibly about center screen. You can see like I think I can see the whole thing on both sides of that tree. A closer look. Look at that. That's where I just was. Inclined to keep moving gradually this way right now. It's just so cool. What is going on here? What is all this? I have no idea. I've heard a lot of theories, and some of them might be right. I don't know. Energy markers. Wow. Yeah, now we're definitely seeing some arches. Look at that one. Wow. That arch. Man. This reminds me of like Canada. Look at that with let me see. Right there, the top of it, the big part, the broken part is just barely hanging. And that log that just kind of snapped right there, center screen, the top of it, or bottom, yeah, top. Holy, this arch looks young. Look at this one. The tree does not look old. So maybe that's kind of fresh. Then it just continues that way. There's this here. Over there. It's sort of an X, kind of, right there. You can see that through there. Center screen. Wow. There's that arch. This is so cool. And then if you look that way, you can see some stuff going on, but it's not, you don't go too far away from something like that and it gets blended in. It doesn't jump out until you get closer. At least when it's thickish like this. Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful break right here. I feel like that's like a classic broken tree. Prickers, ouch. Look at that. Oh, and look at that arch. This is, woof. This is an amazing area. Hello, if anyone is here, it's an honor to be here. And thank you for allowing me to peacefully be here. And it's like a bee or something. I'm being as respectful as I can of all your work. Thank you for allowing me into it. Look at that beauty. And then the big reveal of one of my favorite things. I think I see like 1, 2, 3, 4 arches. The big one, and then 3 kind of center screen smaller ones. Wow. Yeah, I think some of these were not done a whole long time ago. There's a bunch of archy trees here. Wow. Look at them. This one's looks bent. I mean, with everything around it. Look at those. Wow. And from here, that's like an arch there too. I'd say this is too. It's not touching the ground, but with everything else around, that one up there that's sort of a partial arch, it's not connected anymore. And then this huge one, without a doubt, in my mind. Beautiful. Broken tree, dead center. So next to that broken tree center, that is just beckoning me to just have a seat for a minute. I will take a seat and just kind of show the view from, this is what I was talking about. So we have that there. That's the direction I came from. Not much obvious now. Looks like more keeps going that way. And even this here is pretty cool. It's like a sort of an arch in there. Just lots going on. Look at all that. Beautiful. I do hear wildlife like kind of that way and behind me, but not really right around here. No surprise. I love that. Look at that. I love that sort of twisted vine below it, kind of. Just sitting here for a minute. Figure I'll just face that way for a bit. I was just picturing how amazing it would be to be sitting here on a quiet, perfectly calm day like this and just hear a big tree crash or something like that. That is just spectacular to me. Oh, look at that. Right when I said calm, a breeze starts. Huh. So I've been watching videos on grounding, and there's a woman, I think her name is Laura Conover, and she talks about, she actually measures her own like electrical reading with this little gadget, and even touching something like this, you're grounded. So if I'm not barefoot on the ground, I try to just do this as I think of it. Just touch something for a bit and ground. If you haven't looked that up, look it up. It's amazing. Like, there's doctors that study it, and it does some stuff for people that they measured, and it's almost, I mean, it's really something. Grounding, or earthing, they call it. It's a pretty fascinating subject. They say it's kind of like when you discharge static electricity, you don't need to, like, it's just instant. So supposedly, like, just when you first make contact, there's an influx of electrons into your body, and you possibly discharge some negative energies, something like that. And yeah, it's just really cool. Really fascinating. So I believe I'm grounded by just touching this. It kind of opens up here, which is really cool too. Makes me just at least want to have a look. I'll let you guys have a look. That was my backpack making that tap sound. It's kind of like a little paradise in the middle of the forest. Look at those nice flowers. Nice curve there. Kind of archy. Lots of trees down, and there's a bunch of those flowers. They're pretty. And just exploring a little further here, I will cross this. And the ground is so impression-y, so incredibly impression-y. It's just so uneven. It's like there's a gazillion impressions. Look at this. Possibly there was a prescribed burn here. Maybe that's how this got opened up. What's over here? Is that a creek over here? I think so. Yeah, the creek. That kind of looks like a trail to it right over here. You can see how impression-y that is. Look at that. Nothing really jumps out. There's the creek. Very cool. See where somebody's been sliding down this. Looks like a deer print sort of center screen there. And that's down the creek that way. And back, it's the way I came from. Some nice bird whistles. That is Serenity. So coming back from over there where the creek is, looking at this impression-y ground. Never know. Although I think I've come to surmise that I think Sasquatch are careful with their prints. They certainly get found by people, but I think that they know where people go and they don't really want to leave really obvious stuff for the most part. At the same time, there are people who have absolutely gotten the most remarkably clear prints even near their house. And it kind of sort of ends right here. It's a bit of a trail. Trail-ish. Pretty cool. I'm sure some others have had the same idea and just wanted to go along the creek. Check it out. pretty cool. Hopefully anyone watching finds this kind of relaxing, like I am. Another forest patch. That one, mostly everything right there is all just sort of parallel to each other. No angles. The trail, and I'm in the forest area where I was saying that there's not many angles, and just a little ways in, a spectacular arch. And there's one behind it. That is just perfect. Look at that. Wow. But yeah, not nearly as much stuff going on as that other little section I was at. And a trail that goes down to the creek, and there's a nice little break right there. Still, should have really, yeah, it still has leaves on it too. You can see, I'm pretty sure, right? Or is that a bush? Maybe not. Nah. I saw this and thought, yeah, that's that little bush there. Oh, I love these little spots like this. You see, it's a bit sedimenty. Hasn't been flowing too. Oh, there's a decent sized fish. See the ripples? I just saw it. Like a 6-inch trout. 2 of them right there. 3. I think they're trout. You can see those 4. Just under there. Looking at the rocks again, and I saw this kind of oddly shaped, somewhat unnatural looking to me. But I'm not a rock expert, so maybe triangles and stuff like that are just the way it is when they're in the water and stuff. Pretty cool though. I'm kind of on the trail here, looking up, and not much stands out up there compared to where I was before. I do see something coming up, but I'm just kind of looking at how most of these trees right here are just parallel with each other. Now, right here, of course, there's that. Look at that. Look at the little ones right there. Here's another area that's not got a whole lot of stuff jumping out. It just looks very straightforward. I think it's good for people watching my videos to see this. Because if you watch mine, you'd almost think it's like that everywhere. Trees at all these different angles and stuff. Now at the same time, there is that right next to me. That's kind of why I stopped here. I wonder what that's for, right next to the trail. Is it a pointer? Some kind of marker? Or do they want some people to see it? Once again, not very much going on. Just really regular looking forest. But then there is this one little, looks like a little structure right here. That break. The frogs are coming out. Oh, perfect. Birds and frogs and structures. What else do you want? Whoa, you hear that? I think that came from straight ahead. Not positive though. That could have been behind me where there's like a car driving. Not sure. Let me know if you heard that, what it sounded like to you. So I'm getting close to where I'm gonna turn around, and I'm just looking here, hoping to just find something to cap off this part of the hike. Place to turn around, find one more cool something. It's absolutely perfect right now. Got that dove sound. Nothing really stands out greatly. Apart from it being incredibly awesome out. Just perfect. Very blessed to have experienced a lot of perfect weather this year. No, that's not the case for everyone. At least you can enjoy the little bit of this hike with me while I'm just kind of looking around to see what I find. Kind of looks like it opens up a little there. Might be a bit swampish. That's pretty cool though. Kind of reminds me of Florida a little. Boy, would that be an interesting place to look for impressions. But it's very similar to the one I was just at. But yeah, like out there, that looks cool. You would think you'd find prints down there. Maybe you would. Nice clear view from here. Nice golden sunlight. All right, I think I'm gonna turn around here and maybe I'll end the video here. I don't know. Or maybe I'll find some more stuff. We'll find out soon. Seeing this on the way back. Didn't see this on the way up. Cool little structure I missed on the way. Kind of a little X there and another beautiful arch. Some interestingly hanging sticks. There's a couple of them there. And it's right on the trail. Here's the trail. A lot of little interesting details with that right there. Bit of an archy tree here. And there's a nice break right there, center screen. And there's a nice arch right there. leaning stick. Look at that, it goes across the trail. How cool is that? Amazing. Now I would say this is a pretty squatchy area. It's where I just was on the way up. Loving this little bend right here. Kind of neat how it's threaded through like that. Look at that center screen, that chunk of a tree that just hung up there. I think that's an owl. You heard that? Guess we'll keep rolling. We got sounds like that coming up. Yeah, that sounds like a barred owl call. Well, there it is. I mentioned the owls earlier. Although, this is cool. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Man, look at all these trees. And even look at the trail going this way. It's very quiet right here too. That is wild how they're all crisscrossing down there. Wow. What a cool bend. Center screen there. See a couple like that. All these trees feel purposeful to me. Certainly been here a while. Bright sun. What was that? Not sure what that was. I think that was a woodpecker actually. I'm just inclined to film through here right now. It's just so cool. Later in the day, it's just so cool looking. It's just beautiful. It's got a cool vibe. Trying to walk kind of quiet so you can listen in case we hear anything else like the owl call. Of course, there's a lot to look at. What's behind me? If I was gonna end the video with something, it might be this. Wow. Look at that. Can't say I won't find anything else, but look at the way this is lit up. It's kind of dark out here. It's getting darker. And look at that. It's cool how those are there and there. I like to just go like that. Touch it. Look at that though, not one. I mean, if the force of a tree did that, it would just be splitting right there. I don't know how that works. It's a mystery to me. I'm sure some people have different explanations. There is a tiny, tiny one. Look at that little. That is like 8 inches off the ground with this one leaning on it. That is spectacular. And like I've shown in the past, you see the angle of that? It's the same angle as that. Look at that. Visible from the road. Massive structures around here. Where those intersect is like 15, 20 feet up. Wow. Really amazing. How pretty is that? With those little purple flowers behind it. Look at that. Same angle as that massive one up there. Wow. Holy cow. Look at that. With this tree that's uprooted. Look at that. Look at that bend.